I mean, in our first month, we got twice as many views as a Super Bowl.
A successful entrepreneur sees a threat and then takes advantage of the threat.
I like to see my ideas come to life.
Sounds to me like you don't even want to be an influencer.
Eventually, the whole process might be completely automated and created by AI.
Is it worth it?
100%.
You're making good money from it already.
Do you want to know the highest paid?
That's insane. Welcome back to Safe Haven. Today we have our guest, Eric Suarez. And he is a man on the street interviewer on social media, but also a secret businessman running an empire of AI influencers, the actual biggest AI influencers in the entire world. Also, he's 24.
Yes, sir.
He's 24, but welcome, Eric. What's up? How you doing?
Thanks for having me. Good.
You're going to comment about the name mistake? I was messing with you.
I was going to see if you were going to catch it yourself or not. But.
Well, I was messing with you because his caption or your bio and all your stuff is like, you're trying to tell everyone that your name is actually pronounced Suarez.
Yeah, it's like the one thing I want to correct out of everyone. But, at this point, 24 years of my life, I just let it slide.
You got to correct me, though.
All right.
I was low-key rage baiting you with the intro.
Yeah.
I was close, but you just did it. But this guy is the most nonchalant guy ever.
We're chill.
Dude, it's insane. But I want to kind of dive into your story. My audience doesn't really know you. I've never made any videos with you, and you don't really make my style videos. So I want to dive into kind of your story on social media, and then dive into other stuff. So what's your story, man?
Yeah, I've been a content creator for 6 years and started off doing pranks on my dad. And
Wait, pause. Sorry, I want to preface this because I don't want to listen. Guys, if you guys are thinking this is a random collab, as I said last week, I'm trying to make this channel a lot more inspirational. So I want to have inspirational guests that are doing something really, really cool and inspire you in certain ways. Either it's with relationships or in business or faith. This is going to be like a business episode a little bit, but also we're going to have some relationship stuff there. But business-wise, I think this guy's a really big inspiration, huge entrepreneur. So I wanted you guys to get kind of his take on everything and get his views. But sorry for interrupting you. I just want to preface that they're a little bit confused or anything like
Appreciate
that.
it.
But yeah, keep going.
But yeah, I've been doing content for 6 years. Started off doing pranks on my dad and kind of did it all by accident. I never meant to be a content creator, but it was my junior year of high school. It was summer. And Peppa the Pig was a big trend on TikTok.
Interesting.
The cartoon animal Peppa the Pig.
Yeah.
And I wrapped my dad's car in Peppa the Pig while he was out of town. It was completely, none of it was true, but it got 15 million views in a week. I got a couple 100,000 followers from that. And I was okay, there's something here that I should maybe create more content and see where it takes me. And that's just kind of the mentality I've had over the years. And flashback to now, I've been doing street interview content for the last 3 years, and that's what took me from 1 million followers to now around 4 million followers on TikTok and 6 million across platforms.
There you go. That's more than me. You're the go. I should be bound on it. You teach me how to do social media. But one thing I like that you call yourself, you said you're a content creator. A lot of people refer to themselves as influencers, but I think you have a different kind of viewpoint and a different goal with social media. Because would you consider yourself an influencer or just a content creator?
Content creator.
Interesting. So explain that.
So I feel like an influencer is typically someone who people follow for the person themselves and their personality and relatability there. But my content is more as a game show host in a way where people are following me for my content rather than me, Eric Suarez.
I see.
And so I feel like there's just two different approaches, and that's always the way I wanted things to go, is more of the entertainment route rather than just the fame route itself. Also always consider myself an entrepreneur and never had aspirations to be a really big famous person, but rather was really interested on the business side of things. And with the street interview content in particular, it's really easy to integrate brands within my content. And so it's super brand friendly and easily able to plug in any brand, any service or brand for brand deals. And that's how I...
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So it sounds to me like you don't even want to be an influencer.
Nah.
So if you had a choice right now, pick a button.
Yeah.
You switch from content creator to influencer, because the entire world right now wants to be influencers. All of Gen Z, all of Gen Alpha, the biggest dream job, it's not astronaut anymore, it's being an influencer. You're saying that based on your goals, that you actually don't want to be an influencer. And you can be a content creator without being an influencer.
Yeah, I would say so. Like I said, it's just more of the business side of things. I find myself more interested in.
So you view social media as a business itself.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I tell a lot of people. I think if you are an influencer or a content creator, itself, in it itself, social media is its own business. And you're an entrepreneur making your own content, finding your own niche, finding your own sector that you're going to help people in. Like there's food sectors in the real world. You can make a food business. But you can also make a food channel. It's like a food business. You're reviewing food. There's food critics. What's wrong with the food channel? I think it's a business itself. A lot of people just think of it as it's not a job. I think social media itself is starting a business. If you make a social media channel, you are an entrepreneur. You are creating something from nothing, and every video is a creation. So I think that's a big misconception, but I think a lot of people don't really even realize there's a huge disconnect between creator and influencer, and based on your goals, you might not even want to be an influencer. So many people want to make videos, but they don't want to be famous. So my girlfriend, she doesn't really want to do either, but my girlfriend does not like cameras. And a lot of people don't like being famous. They don't want the attention, but they want to like do something revolving like interviews or something educational. So I think definitely think it's really important. And do you see yourself ever changing or making different content or like more personal content to build a connection with your audience, or you don't really care to focus on that really?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely important to have that personal connection with an audience. It just depends on your goals. If I were to do more, I have aspirations to do more personal brand content in the way of more on the business side of things, of like what I'm doing and what I'm involved in, and kind of educate people on the things that I'm learning. So the audience would be targeted towards more business related people rather than just the general public, and try to create like a fan base for, just me as a person.
So would that be separate?
Yeah, that would be separate from my street interview content. I would have my own page for that.
So make a new page and kind of like business content, kind of like TJR.
Yeah, in a way, maybe a little less chaotic.
Well, yeah, not as chaotic. I'm saying like just talk to the camera, hold your phone up, and make a talking video. Or do you see yourself like making like high quality production stuff?
I think a mix of both.
A mix of both.
Yeah, but I think the just point and shoot iPhone like vlog type of content is what. It's first of all, it's easy. You can just take out your phone at any time and say anything, and that's been working a lot for a lot of people I'm seeing. And I feel like there's also a lot more relatability in the way that your message can get across to an audience. Just feels a little bit more personal, like you're on FaceTime rather than a big high quality production type of content.
That's valid. I think it's really true. I have an idea. I want to see if it's true or not. When it comes to content creation, what is your favorite process? Is it the editing? Is it the filming? Is it seeing the likes and views? Is it like, what is your favorite part of the content creation?
I like to see my ideas come to life.
Ideas come to life. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So I think it depends on people's favorite part, because some people, they like editing, and I think those people are a little bit against being an influencer. Then people also that like, there's like making an idea come to life. They're a little bit more on the content creation side. I feel like some people that like try to make friends or community out of it, that's the favorite part, or seeing like the likes and views, then they want to be more like an influencer. So I think that kind of coincides. So my theory was right. I think it just depends on what you enjoy about making content that kind of influences what type of content you make and what style it's in. So that's really interesting. Yeah. But you do want to have a personal brand eventually.
Yeah.
So you do eventually want to be famous then? That's what you're saying.
Not famous. Like I'd rather like target a very specific group of people and, reach that 20,000 people rather than try to get millions of followers and appeal to a wider audience. Just trying to narrow it down to a specific, type of audience.
But there's millions of people in that audience.
Yeah, it's possible.
So, okay,
I wouldn't be doing it for the fame though.
I see. Okay. So now back to the button question. You have to pick a button. You can do that, and it's wildly successful, and you have millions of devoted followers. But because of that business content, it's not just about you. It's like your business. Would you take that? So you recognize everywhere you go by men. You take it. Okay.
I would say so.
This is just, I think that'd be cool. Depends on the motives. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've honestly always said this, like ever since I was in high school, is I'd rather be famous for being really good at like one particular thing within business, rather than just being famous for and appealing to like Beyonce famous or something like Kim Kardashian, where
dude, that kind of leads me to a huge inner battle I've had recently. We've talked about it, and we were just at Vid Summit, and like I kind of learned about it being a problem as well. I think it's really important to have that one thing. Like you want to be famous for one thing, but I think it's important to have that one thing that you're continuously focusing on, working on. Because you and I both are very, we have a lot of new ideas. We're very serial entrepreneurially, and it can hurt us also. And that's what I learned recently. Because me, I have the puppy yoga, the skincare business. I have social media itself. I have a bunch of like little other things going on. I literally had an app idea today. Like I'm constantly trying to make new things, and like I think I need to like tell myself, no, you're doing what you're doing already, and you're focusing on that. I think you're also doing that as well now. Would you say you're like similar? Like you used to do that, and now you're kind of like trying to hone in on one thing.
100%. Yeah, I've always been a person that does like so many different things at once, and I think over the years I've been able to manage that, and it's been able to grow my work ethic, and I've been really good at time management. But at some point you have to really narrow your focus and focus on like 1-2 things and really go all in to see the max potential out of those things that you are in.
So if you go back in time and like you got a bunch of things going on right now, but if you could pick, like if you could go back in time and focus on one thing instead of doing all the things you did, would you go back in time and do that?
No, but I feel like now I need to start being a little bit more focused on my time, but I have no regrets.
That's good. I mean, that's really good. You shouldn't have regrets. I mean, everything teaches you what you know now, and that's why you know that now, because you've done so much. I think I'd say the same. I think I wouldn't change anything, but I definitely need to hone in now. Like I think I'm at the limit of new things I can start, and there's some other things that we're starting together, which kind of leads me to the coolest thing. Probably the reason people clicked on this is your AI empire. Yes, you and my boy, or your boy, now my boy, Adam Basserstein, you guys started this AI granny. Well, actually starts way before that, but you guys have over like 5 million followers now and AI influencers. You guys are the biggest in the world. You guys are crushing it. No one here probably even knows that AI influencers exist. They don't know. So tell me kind of what you do in that world, and let's dive into that. Like just flat out, what do you do? What is it?
Yeah, no, it's a crazy world. And this is all brand new too. So everything that you just said has happened in the last 3 months. So crazy growth very quickly in ways that I've never seen as a content creator myself, doing it for 6 years. But yeah, so pretty much what happened was I run a street interview UGC content agency where me and Adam, we create street interview creatives for brands to post on their platforms or run as paid media. And when I saw that Google released a text to video software called Google VO3, I was like, okay, Adam, I think this is a little bit of a threat to our UGC agency, because eventually I figured that this AI content, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between what's real and what's AI eventually. And I think that future is going to happen very soon. So Adam and I, we just learned by doing. We, bought the monthly subscription, and the monthly subscription has like a certain amount of credits for each generation that you do. And we had no prior experience with AI beforehand, and we were playing around. But since have experience within social media, we had found very quick success creating kind of AI influencers. And we were just experimenting, trying to learn the AI stuff. But we started a Bigfoot account.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
So like, I don't know if you've seen like those Bigfoot vlog videos.
That was you.
So was like the first trend right after Google VO3 came out. And so we kind of bounced off that trend where people were creating these Bigfoot or Yeti characters vlogging in the forest, and it was very like chaotic content. And so we created Bigfoot on the Street, because street interview content is our bread and butter.
Yeah. So you know how to make it viral. You've been doing it for so long.
Exactly.
You know exactly how to make it viral, which is why it did go viral.
Exactly. So we know the format that goes into a viral street interview content. And in the first week posting this Bigfoot character interviewing people in Times Square, we gained over like 200,000 followers on TikTok. And we're like, okay, wow, this is insane. Let's keep making more characters. And so then we created a human street interviewer called Joey. His name's Joey on the Street. And in his content, he was interviewing a grandma who wears all pink designer clothing and just says things how they are. No BS, savage kind of personality, talking about relationship advice. And we had a video within a few days of creating an account get like 50 million views, where Joey was interviewing this savage grandma character.
That's insane.
It got over 7 million likes, which was at the time the highest amount of likes on a fully AI generated piece of content on TikTok.
I've never gotten that many likes on a video.
Yeah, me neither. And here we are with our AI characters going more viral than us.
Yeah, that's insane.
So we were like, wow, this is incredible. Like, we need to now make an account for Granny. And so we created an account for Granny. Her name's Granny Spills, and where she spills the tea. And she quickly passed Joey. And then like in a couple weeks, she had like over 400,000 followers on TikTok. And then we started posting on all the other platforms as well. And on Instagram, Granny in particular got 1 million followers in the first 22 days on Instagram.
That's insane. Less than a month, 1 million followers on Instagram. I don't even have half of that. And she's not even real.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. By 6 years, it can be taken up a second by someone that can just write text on a VO.
Yeah, so that opened our eyes. And now we have a vision of becoming the next Pixar of like AI influencers and AI characters.
That's insane. That's, I mean, dude, I'm going to dive deep into that. But first I want to say, there's one thing that you mentioned that was really important, I think. And it was at first, it was a threat. I think a lot of people that are like probably business owners that are watching this because of him, people often get scared of things and they kind of just hope it doesn't happen, shy away from it. I think a successful entrepreneur sees a threat and then takes advantage of the threat.
Turns it into an opportunity.
Exactly. You took a threat and made it into an opportunity. And now the opportunity is insanely huge. It's massive. It's scaling so fast. But originally you're scared this is going to hurt your business. And instead of being like, I hope and pray that like there's a law that says no AI influencers or I can't do this. So you were like, let's figure out how to do this. Let's become the threat. You became the threat that you were scared of.
Exactly.
For other industry creators. Any other UGC agency, they're scared of you guys now because not only did you get scared of it and like, AI influencers, you made AI man on the street influencers. You created the threat you were scared of.
Yep.
And that's so important because people are like, well, just hide it. No. You take it as an opportunity, you destroy the threat, and you turn it into, you make yourself the threat.
Exactly.
That's so smart. I think it's so important. I think in any type of business, you need to understand that and apply that because there are going to be so many threats. And no matter what, even for Facebook, you're going to grow, you're going to have threats, and you have to take down those threats. Facebook by Instagram. Like that was a huge threat for them. So that's a really important thing I think you said. And I think a lot of people don't even realize that you can't be scared of threats. They actually the biggest opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah. So now let's dive into kind of Pixar, all that stuff. So you're going from this UGC agency, you're still doing that.
Yeah.
And you're converting it now to also being this like AI influencer agency. And that's kind of like where we started talking and working together. He told me his story about Granny. I was like, okay, dude, how can I work with you? This is insane. What can I do? How can I be a part of this? This is going to be insane. It's gonna be the next wave. I mean, you guys they're pulling more views than me. They're crushing it. People love it. How can I be a part of it? I talked to him. I called him. I had him over to my house with his partner. And I was like, well, what can we do? And they told me the biggest problem was scaling. Like with a team, you can't make unlimited people without more employees, more people working with you. So I was like, okay, how about I help you make characters? So now we're working on making some other characters. One character in particular, you guys might notice, it's a very similar name to me, but I don't know if we're leaking fully who it is. Yeah, so if you guys notice an AI influencer by the same name, might be us. But this influencer network is going to go insane. I think we're going to absolutely crush it. And people are probably wondering right now, is it worth it? Like, how are you going to make money from this? And we already know.
Yeah.
You're making good money from it already.
Yeah.
Can we go into kind of what numbers Granny's pulling already? Like maybe one brand deal recently in particular?
Sure. Yeah. In the last few weeks, we've gone like 3 brand deals. Damn. And they're in the 5-figure range. And we have a really exciting collaboration with an AI generation tool called OpenArt next week in Times Square, where Granny's going to be featured on a massive Times Square billboard.
That's insane.
And that's part of a campaign to promote one of their tools. And there's going to be a lot of press around that. And she might be like the first AI influencer to be featured on a billboard in Times Square, which is insane.
So, dude, the press is insane, but the money is insane with it. It's crushing. And as it scales, I think as brands realize what power it is, it's unstoppable. Like there's nothing that can stop it.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, they're all self-standing influencers. Exactly. So they can monetize in the same way that a typical influencer would. And have so much more output than a human, a
Exactly.
real human influencer could do.
And they're not saturated.
Right.
There's so many influencers. How many AI influencers are there? None. The press right now is a gold rush for it.
Yeah.
Like the brand deals you're gonna get because you're the only ones that can do those brand deals.
Right.
Like right now, if a brand wants to work with a creator, they have like 20,000 creators to choose from. Like, okay, I'm gonna do maybe this one, maybe this one. They're like, okay, I want to work with an AI influencer. I have to work with you guys.
Right.
That's the only choice.
Yeah.
That's completely it. And then you kind of mentioned to me, I don't know if you want to leak it yet. Talk about like how brands you're going to make influencers for brands.
Yeah.
So that's like a new idea. That's like a whole new way to monetize as well, is making influencers for brands.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that vision very quickly. I mean, in our first month, we got twice as many views as the Super Bowl. And that's because we were able to just pump out content. I think we posted over 100 videos in our first month just on Granny's account alone. And keep in mind, it's just me and Adam creating the content. So like mentioning what you were mentioning earlier is like, it's hard to keep up with all the different characters and creating that much content. So we need more people to help us create those new characters. And I forget what your initial question was.
Making influencers for brands.
Yes. So then we saw a lot of demand from people reaching out to us because we were getting so many views, and people were like DMing us like, how do you make this content? Could you do this for my brand? I have like an idea for a character. Like, this is amazing. I don't know how you guys are doing it. And so Adam and I were like, okay, well, that could be like a whole agency in itself where we're creating the AI related content for brands to post on their platforms or create characters and these influencers that they can own. And that's, we're still figuring out like what direction we want to take and how to handle all this demand because it's so sudden and it's happening very quickly. But that's definitely a route that we are talking about, creating a couple characters with pretty big brands. Nothing confirmed yet, but it will be really exciting. I think that's the way things are headed right now.
That is exciting. That's insane. Are there any numbers you can say specifically about brand deals, or it's all under NDA probably?
For the AI influencers, we've gotten a couple around like intro rating, just to like start developing case studies and relationships with these brands because we have a long-term vision working with them. But our first couple were around like $6,000 each.
Interesting.
And that was, that's amazing for creating the content in a couple months, and we're already monetizing, getting brand deals in that range. And I mean, really, if like Granny Spills now has like 1.8 million followers on Instagram and like, I don't know, 800,000 on Facebook, almost 700,000 on TikTok, I believe. Wow. And so those numbers, especially with how many followers she has, particularly on Instagram, she could be charging like at least $10,000, and that's what.
Well, I think she would be charging six figures.
Oh yeah, I'm saying at least 10,000. So in the 5-figure range for sure at a minimum.
No, 100%.
But yeah, there's so much potential.
Yeah, and another way we can monetize is this is another idea we had together, where this is like a big announcement too. No one knows this. You guys are being the first to know this. We're making a collab product with Granny and my skincare brand. I can't tell you guys what the product is, but it will be at the launch party. It's one of the products at the launch party. That's exciting.
Stay tuned.
That is so exciting. Granny will have a product, so that is a new way that we're going to be working together, and I think it's going to crush. The first ever AI influencer to have a product that you can buy and physically use. Something not real, making something real. Yeah. Insane concept, and I think that is going to crush not only in like sales but press.
Yeah,
people are going to love talking about that. It's absolutely insane. I wonder too, though, kind of we're on this topic of monetization and like having brands like have this content for like make the content for them. But in regards to like laws and like legal stuff, like is there any trademarking? Is there any keeping like the usage rights to yourself? Like, is there any legal problems you guys have been facing? Yeah,
that's definitely a really interesting topic that right now with the AI stuff, it's the wild, wild west, and there's not many regulations put in place because everything's developing rapidly. Like, people can't even catch up, and with legal and legislation things, it moves very slow. So like, I don't know when things will start becoming more formal and, there's more laws in place related to AI. Hopefully there are soon, but yeah, that's definitely a topic that we're trying to figure out in terms of like what we can trademark or, because like if you're creating like a character like SpongeBob, like those you can trademark the image because it's like a consistent character and the appearance of that character doesn't change. But with the AI content, it's kind of just like a human in a way, and there are slight differences in each generation because of the existing software out there right now is limited.
But soon it'll be good.
So it's hard to trademark, I guess, like a character like Granny. Right now we can trademark her name, Granny Spills, but I hope there's going to be more development there to protect AI influencers, because IP is definitely
scary.
A topic that needs to be spoken about related to AI.
Would you say that's one of the biggest problems, or the biggest risks?
I'd say so, because, well, in a way, there are many other grandma characters that people have created after seeing ours, and we combat, and even posting our content, and we're getting sometimes more views than us on the content that they literally just downloaded ours and posted it. Wow. But we outsmarted that by putting Granny Spill's like name in the back. Like in a lot of her content, she films like Q&A related videos in her like custom pink bougie Sprinter van. And so in the background, in the back of the van, it says like Granny Spills and like her like cursive font, and people stop posting our content because now that like is showing that we own that content, and that's Granny Spills. And if they were to post the content, that only grows her personal brand even further, because it's kind of like clipping in a way, and people see the Granny Spills name in the back. So I think the goal is to develop such a strong enough personal brand around a character that people automatically can identify, oh, that's Granny Spills, that's like the real Granny Spills, versus oh, that's like a knockoff grandma character, and I don't really like her as much. Exactly.
And as AI gets better, like it's going to be more and more easy to make it like a real influencer, where it's like it's hard to just knock off a real person.
Right.
But one thing you guys also have that's a huge asset is incubation. Like these are the people who are going to be competing versus you, trying to make these characters. And like, yeah, it's a risk. They can steal your characters, all that stuff, but they can't steal the presence you made because you started so early. You have like 5 characters now with over 100,000 followers on Instagram, where if you want to create a character, you can just incubate that character, have collaborated posts, and build characters at a rate no other AI infiltrator agency can.
Exactly.
Not possible.
Yeah, that's the biggest advantage of our network right now, is that people can create a character, and sure, they can find growth pretty quickly, just the way we did. I wouldn't say it's going to be easy to do, but it's definitely possible, as we've shown. But our biggest advantage now is that we have this network of AI characters and over close to 5 million followers across platforms, where we can now kind of industry plant these characters.
Literally, you guys are going to be, that's a crazy concept. Industry planting AI influencers.
Yep.
And that's what you guys can do. That's what we are doing.
Yeah.
We're literally making an industry plan right now as we speak. That's insane.
So
that's insane.
We are able to use our existing following to collab post or build upon the storyline of our characters to create new characters and promote the new, characters that we're birthing in a way. Exactly. It's such a crazy concept.
And it's just like, it all makes sense. Like people are saying, AI influencers won't do well because they don't have the drama. They don't have the story. They have nothing behind them. No, we're going to create entertainment. Like just like you watch a movie, it's gonna be the same thing, and these people are gonna have backstories, storylines. Like this a person we're making right now is Granny's granddaughter. It all is gonna be connected. It all is coming together. Like the things that people are saying about influencers being AI, it's not true. Like you can create the same thing you have with real people, because you can like look at this, for example. Drama, for example. You have never met Kim Kardashian. You never probably, maybe you will. You probably never will meet her. You probably won't ever meet anyone she's ever had drama with. You just believe the drama and watch it, and you're entertained by the drama. Same thing with AI influencers. Nobody's ever going to meet an AI influencer. but they're going to be entertained by the drama. It's going to be real drama, real storyline. There's no difference between that and that because you're never going to meet those people anyways.
Yeah. And what's even crazier is that since they are AI characters and they're not real, they're not embarrassed. They're not embarrassed by things that they say. So you can really have these characters say bizarre things that a normal human might be uncomfortable putting themselves out in the public like that.
Exactly. And like, do you ever foresee a future where like you could even get canceled? It's possible.
I'd say it's possible. Of course, if you're going along like racist, conversations or something like that, at the end of the day, that's still not okay.
It makes me have an interesting thought. So what if an influencer, an AI influencer is very racist and like it says the N-word a bunch of times? What gets canceled? Does the person behind the influencer get canceled? Like,
I'd say so.
Would you get canceled if Granny was doing that? You think so?
I think if people knew who was behind the character, for sure.
Yeah. Do you think that most people are going to know who's behind the character?
I think with this new age of AI characters and content creation in general, it's going to bring a lot of new people into the industry, people who were afraid to put themselves out on camera or onto the internet. But now people can create a kind of a version of themselves or a completely different character and now become content creators in ways that they weren't able to do before.
Yes, I agree in the long term, but I think right now, short term, as there's this wave and bull run, I think part of the reason why Granny's so viral isn't because it's a great concept. It's because you yourself know man on the street. You are a man on the street interviewer yourself. So you chose a man on the street style video and you blew her up for that because you know the pacing of those videos. You know how to build a storyline. You know the suspense. You know the climax. You know how to run that style of video. So I think that's one of the main reasons, honestly, why I blew up. That's like what I kind of told you when I was like, I want to work with you because instead of hiring some random person to just make videos for you, make characters, I'm a creator. I know certain niches better than you. Like you don't understand the get ready with me girl niche, but I have a business that revolves around that niche. So I know how that content works. I know how to make it viral. And that's what you need. You need someone that actually understands social media because yes, like some people blow up for like looking good or looking like, or doing something cool, looking unique, but to stay online for a long time, you need to be smart. You need to understand social media. You need to be able to maintain it. And it's a really hard thing that most people in the world can't do because if they could, then they'd be viral right now themselves. So I honestly think my theory is that there's gonna be a huge wave of AI influencers backed by influencers, kind of like you or hopefully me. And that's kind of like my thoughts. Do you agree with that? Or would you say that that's wrong?
No, 100%. I totally agree. And I largely attribute our success within the AI character because of the fact that we are content creators and we have experience getting billions of views over the years. And we just know what goes into a piece of viral content.
Exactly. Do you think that eventually, this is a random thought I had, do you think eventually there's going to be AI that knows how to make viral content better than actual viral creators?
I was actually having this conversation with my business partner, Adam. I think eventually there are going to be tools that are going to be able to script write in ways that are perfect. That, eventually the whole process might be completely automated and created by AI.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to lose the human touch, but I beg to argue is like AI kind of feels like a human. When I talk to it and it writes for me, it has a human touch when it talks.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like growing and like becoming knowledgeable as a creator, it means like diving into your comments, diving into your analytics. AI can scour way more analytics than us. It can learn way more information. It can analyze every single trend. It can track way better than us. I think it's possible AI can become better than us at making content, which is crazy to think about. Like I think AI eventually will have better video ideas than Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Like, and he has a whole team behind him. Like it's a yes. Like we don't know for sure because like there's ways people react to it, and like maybe AI just won't have that human side. But I feel like so far AI has had the human side. I think that's why it's so scary, is because AI truly does feel like I'm talking to a human when I talk to it. Mm-hmm. So it's really scary. But I mean, that's just something we have to wait and see.
Yeah,
that we'll never know. But I mean, you yourself are a creator. Are you scared? I mean, you saw it as a threat. Are you scared of just losing your creator job? Not your agency, but your just creator job.
That's why I'm kind of evolving into what I'm doing. There's definitely a threat, but like we spoke about, we're turning the threat into an opportunity where, let's say, creators are fizzled out for some reason. We now have the other side, the new wave, the AI character situation. And if that's the way things will be, in that case, we're kind of protected because we're still active within the content creation industry and in just the new form.
There you go. That's how it is. But speaking of that, I want to kind of dive in a little bit more on we talked about your story, but I want to dive into like your content now, maybe give a little advice in the Man on the Street stuff, talk some numbers, because before this podcast, you said you were comfortable sharing some numbers. Typically, I don't really ask guests like numbers like that, but I mean, you're very successful. You know what you're doing. I think that a lot of people will be inspired. As I said, I'm trying to be inspirational, inspired to hear kind of numbers, certain things you can do. But when it comes to Man on the Street stuff, like how does that work? What do you do? Tell me what filming content for you is like, because I just put my phone up somewhere and talk or do a sound. What's your content like?
It's a bit more of a production process for me, which is why creating my content, I'm not able to have so much output compared to the AI content where I can just post. Because with mine, there's a lot that goes into it. First of all, you have to come up with the idea, a really great idea. I think the most important input of the street interview content is the idea. And then you have to get good people that match that idea out in public. So I go out and I have a few video ideas I have in mind that I want to film that day. And I have a videographer with me and we go to a location depending on what the ideas are about. Typically I film on a college campus because students are down to do really crazy things for just $20. Yeah. And I just find that that's the most efficient way to go film. But when I'm filming, I have an idea in mind and I'm scouting on the street for a certain type of person to match the vibe of my piece of content that I have in mind to film. And that process in itself can take a pretty long time. I remember I would walk around in the mall when shooting street interview content there. And I'd be walking for like over an hour just to try to find like this particular type of person that I'm looking to be in my video. And that's also a big input into the success of a viral street interview piece of content is the interviewee themselves. I typically approach people who look confident on camera. This is all like just reading people like from a distance.
Wait, random thought. Have you ever interviewed a furry?
A furry?
Yeah.
Not yet.
No. Okay. Yeah. That'd be interesting. That's one. Yeah. I don't know why I sort of random thought. I was like, has he ever interviewed a furry? But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
That could be viral.
That could be really viral. Yeah.
But I was saying like, I'm looking for a certain type of person to interview. And then of course, once we get that filmed, we have to get it edited, and the editing also carries a video. Like sometimes I watch my raw footage. I'm like, no, this isn't going to do well. Like this is like sometimes awkward, but we have a really great editing team. And it totally switches the vibe of the content. We're able to make it feel a lot more dramatic and more lively than I guess it was in real life, even though it's like everything that happened was real, but it's just the way that it's edited and put together. It really has a big impact on the video itself.
Oh, 100%. I think that's editing can change the video entirely. At some point you can go from a 1 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 video. Like it's absolutely insane. So then like on that style of content, because I don't really do that content myself, and like I've met some people through you that do that content, but you mentioned you're comfortable with some numbers. Could you give us kind of some numbers on like the monetization of that? Because like that's something that also doesn't really rely on like looks or personality. Like anyone can really do that. They can ask people questions. I mean, obviously not anyone can do it. Like they have to be good at making it and make it viral. Like you have to understand like what person you want to interview and little things like that make it viral. But like in regards to numbers, what are the numbers like for that? Like what is just main thing monetizing is brand deals?
I'd say that carries majority of what the revenue from street interviews. Yeah. And I've been fortunate to work with some of the biggest brands in the world, like Red Bull, State Farm, ESPN, Ray-Ban Meta glasses, Haagen-Dazs. The list just goes on. Lenovo flew me out to Formula One, which was insane. Like also, not only just collaborating with the brands is amazing, it's great pay, but it's also has allowed me to have so many crazy life experiences that I would never be able
You
to.
went skydiving because of Red Bull, right?
Yeah, I went
That's
skydiving
nuts.
with the Red Bull Air Force team, which is insane.
That's absolutely nuts. Dang,
But
dude.
yeah, so the numbers can get pretty big, and this year was a good year for me for sure. I've had some of the biggest brand deals I've ever done, and do you want to know the highest paid?
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
Yeah.
You saw me. I was like, "What's the highest paid brand you've gotten? What is the best brand you've gotten?" This is an interesting
it's
question.
like ridiculous because it's like it's some people's salaries, and I'm very grateful and fortunate to be in the position that I am, and
I see.
it's been a long 6 years in the making to get to where I am, so it wasn't overnight at all.
Yeah. Like me personally, I didn't make money for like the first 4 years I did social media.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like 2 years ago. I've been doing it for like 6 years as well. So I think a lot of people just think it's instant money,
Right.
instant success. It takes a while honestly to start making money. But sorry, I interrupted you. I'm kind of like stalling. Everyone's like, just get to the point already. What's the most? So what's the biggest brand deal ever?
The most amount of money I've made from a single brand deal is $70,000.
Shut up.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh, one video?
It was a 2 video campaign.
2 videos.
Yeah.
2 minute long videos.
Yeah.
$70,000. Wow.
Less than a minute. Yeah.
Less than a minute.
Yeah.
Dang. You obviously can't say the brand, right? Yeah. Under NDA, yeah, I'm sure. Wow, guys.
There's a lot of money to be made. Yeah.
That's crazy. How many hours do you think it took you to make $70,000?
An hour and a half. Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, that's insane, right? Hour and a half, 70 grand. Wow. I don't know. I'm speechless, dude.
Yeah.
Jaw dropped.
I don't understand it, but I'm here for it.
And imagine like people that like are way bigger than us because we're both like tiny. There's people that are huge.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, I heard stuff of like Alex Earl. She's making like $1 million for a brand deal. I heard.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
See, like these videos take like an hour or 2 hours, and that's wild. Yeah, man, the street is a huge niche.
Yeah. At the end of the day, brands are paying for visibility, awareness of their brand, and we're able to easily do that and create challenges around brands, products, or services.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like they have to pay for views. Like if we can bring them that exposure, it makes sense. Like obviously marketing dollars. If you spend money on Google ads, if you can guarantee a video gets 1 million views, if you spend money on Google ads to get 1 million views, that's probably more than $70,000. Actually, not more than $70,000, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I definitely see why brands do it. Like it makes sense. Obviously, they're making money on it. Sometimes they don't, but it does. I think you just inspired them. I think you're inspired a lot of people to start Man on the Street videos. I think there's gonna be some people that comment on this one. It's like, I'm starting Man on the Street interviews now.
Yeah.
Because that's huge. Maybe you're gonna have some competition now. You just created some more threats for yourself. We're telling them how to turn threats into becoming a threat, and now you're just like, we're building like the perfect enemy to take you down. But I think you're gonna crush it because I think you're on top, and no one's gonna catch up if you don't slow down.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's awesome, dude. That's great for you. I'm happy for you.
Appreciate it.
I think that's insanely awesome, dude. And thank you for being on this interview.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're a big guy. You should be probably like on some yacht or something like that.
Well, I do yacht interview content too. So
there you go. But you came down into this podcast with me, and you hang out with me sometimes. We actually might hang out later tonight too. So super cool having you on, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I hope that all you guys learned something, got a little bit inspired. That's the goal of today.
Yes, sir.
And I hope you guys have a good one. God bless.